Hi, this is Vi from Scrappy Maniac, and today I want to show you the album that I've completed for my friend. If you've been following me along, I've been posting almost weekly all the pages that I've been creating for this album. I have to complete this by October. That is when her wedding is, and I was able to do that. So the first thing I want to show you is the album itself. I bought this album at Michael's, and it has a burlap cover. And I love that burlap cover because her wedding is actually burlap, blue jeans, and lace. That's the theme of a wedding. And she's going to have it in the country, and it's going to be, they found a beautiful place that does a lot of weddings, and it's in the country, and with nature, with a lot of greenery and things like that. So it's going to be a gorgeous wedding. So I want to, hopefully, I want to give her an album that will reflect those gorgeous pictures that she's going to take. So I'm hoping I did justice to her wedding, and that that will go very nicely with this album. Now it's a little thick, so I had to cut the plastic, and I don't want to take off the plastic because of course my surface is not as clean as I would like it to be. But I'm going to leave the plastic on, and when she gets it, she can remove the plastic. So let's go ahead and show you the inside of the album. So here, let me show you the papers I've been using. So for this album, I mainly just used a lot of the papers from the Vintage Country, and this is by Recollection. I found this in Michael's, and Heartfelt Creation Sun-Kissed Collection. And I also used the flowers for this collection because I wanted to keep everything within that theme. I did use a couple of sayings out of this collection, but because her theme is blue jeans, teal colors, and burlap, I wanted to stay with these two color scheme. I did not want to introduce too much of this color scheme into this album because I did not want it to clash. Because you got to remember, she's going to have pictures that's going to have that turquoise, that blue, that lace, the burlap colors. So you don't really want to make the pages that will just, clashes with her colors. So I was trying to make it that everything blends in pretty nicely. So the other thing that I use, and boy did I pull out stuff, I went ahead and pulled out all of my Heartfelt Creation dies, most of them. So I pulled out this Sunflower Classic, and I used this for a couple of flowers. I pulled this open leaf, and I used this, I colored them with watercolor, and I cut a lot of these things out. And usually when I do compose gift albums, I usually have containers full of die cuts that I create my own, or my own embellishments. I lay them all on the table, and then as I compose the pages, I just pull from those and place them down. I also used this Sun-Kissed Flower, and most of the flowers that are used in this album are from this stamp. I love this stamp. It's beautiful. I have one little page that has this branching with these flowers and these birdies. So I do have a couple of these birdies sprinkled around the album because of course she's going to have it outside in nature, so I wanted to give her that nature feel. I did stamp some of these. Okay, and I used that and actually I did not use this one. Now that I'm looking at it, I mainly used the open leaf flowers. I mainly used more of these than this one. I did not really use this one. I used the open leaf. I used the Sun-Kissed Flower dies to cut out my flowers. I did use this classic leaf for a couple of them. And then this is the die. This die coordinates with this stamp, and this stamp, and this stamp. So if you get this die, you may want to get the other three stamps. Very versatile too, because when you do flowers, you always need leaves. I love these stamps and dies. And then the last thing that I used was the Sun-Kissed Flower borders and corners. I love that. I used that. You'll see that in a couple of my pages. And also I used that one. And actually I just cut it out. So let me show you the dolls that I used, because I wanted to use my Prima dolls. So the dolls that I used was the Hour with a Crown. So I used this one. I used Becky. And you'll see in a moment how I use Becky and how I use her hat for Tommy. I used Becky's hat. I put it on Tommy. I cut this hat out, and then he became a cowboy. And you'll see in a second. I used Dita, and I used Lorena. This one is set 1, so don't have a name. When Julie Nutting was creating these stamps at the beginning, she didn't give them names. So this was just part of set 1. And then I used Marisol and Dressed in Skirt to create a wedding dress. And you'll see in a moment how I use these two. I used this as a veil. I used that as a dress. And then here's Adam. And I used this twice in the album. And it looks very different on the way that you color it. It really changes the look of that outfit. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you. Here is the second page. So here is that Marisol, and here's her dress that I cut out, and here's the back of the smaller dress, and I put that behind her head to look like a veil. And then I used some pearl accents to make 2 pearls there, and then a little string of pearls kind of in her bandana area. Okay, here are some sun-kissed the flowers. Put those flowers there. Put some more flowers here. Put a little bit of flat back pearls on the centers, those flat back pearls. And then all these stuff is from the paper pad. And these are also, this is part of another die that I have. That's part of the Heartfelt Creation. So I put that there. And this is, I have my big Tim Holt alphabet die, the big XL. And I used just glitter foam, fun foam to create the alphabet here. And then here I put Groom, and here's Adam. And see how I change. I color his outfit because I wanted him to kind of blend in the background, same as her. I didn't really want to make her too much that he, take away from the pictures. So that's why that was my rationale with not putting some colors that are going to blend in with the background and not really dark colors. The next page here, let me show you, bring it down. Here is just that paper pad again. This is Heartfelt Creation. No, actually this is the Recollection. I have 2, with the Recollection you get 2 of each of the patterns. So I took one of the patterns and cut out the flowers and used those as accent with foam adhesive in the background. And then again, Heartfelt Creations, a little saying from the Heartfelt Creation saying. And this is part of that Blazing Poppy that I did not want to introduce too much red. So I used just that little saying there. I had, these were some old chipboard letters that I have. And then here is where, again, these are just regular photo mats from Die Cut with a View. I just bought a photo, pack of those photo mats and just peeled them off, placed them down, and you're done. These, when I'm creating gift album, a lot of times it looks plain for me. It looks very plain just putting a photo mat there with nothing there. So I like to spice my stuff up. So the way that I spruce my album is I put a little corner accent on each of the corners. Sometimes I just put 2 corner accents, and that really makes the page pop, I think. Doesn't look so plain and blah. Okay, so in this one, again, I put, this is a Martha Stewart doily, and I have that punch, and I used that for the background. What I did is I cut a bunch of them with white cardstock, and then with my sprays and glitter mist, I was able to change the color so that way it will reflect more the color theme and also blend into the background. Here's Heartfelt Creation with those leaves, Recollection paper. Love the photo mats. And then here is my photo mats. I have a punch that cuts out like labels, so I put that there. Part of the paper pad from Recollection. This is a little accent piece that I create with hot glue and my molds, my silicone molds. I put that there. And then that's it. I wanted to make it very simple because I really want her pictures to stand out, not my embellishments. So here's where I did the bridesmaid, and here are my prima dolls and my other prima doll. This is from the first set, and this is the second release from Judy Nutting. And then here's Dita. I put Dita here, as you can see her there. Some more of the Heartfelt Creation flowers around it. Put some more of those tabs so that way you can see that, you know, a little bit of accent there. A little area for her to journal there, a little area for journal there. And these papers in the background are from Sunkissed Flora, and it's from Heartfelt Creation. So love that. Now, of all the pages, this is my favorite page. The reason why I like it so much because of these flowers. These flowers were created with the Sissick Tatter Rose. So I created this flower, and then I had some burlap little pieces around, and I just frayed them and used that to create the center here with my pearls. Put a little string of burlap with a little bow there. I double matted my mats this time. My little Martha Stewart doily punch. I love that doily punch. Put that there. Again, I color mist it so that way it'll blend in with the background. And then some more of my embellishments that I create with hot glue and silicone mold. And this mold is actually from Martha Stewart. I do like her molds, and that's what I used to create that. I made like a pretend little nest here. I just took some burlap, made a little knot, and just twirl it around with some hot glue, and then put some pearls on it to simulate eggs, and then put a little birdie right there. So that's my, this is my 5th page or 6th page. Then I created this page. This page, I wanted to be more like a fairy tale, like Cinderella. And I put the doll that she looks like she's running away from the ball kind of thing, like Cinderella. And I don't know why, it just came out that way. It came a little like she's in movement because of the way that I placed her doll, the doll. But I do like that. And then I have a little birdie, and you have my heart. You are magical. And these are the, they're not the Sunkissed Flora. Actually, those were created with, let's see, where I have it. These were actually these. I used a classic sunflower for these flowers. Okay. And you can see they're a little more pointy than these. These are a little more rounder. These are a little more pointy. Not a lot of difference, but I don't know. I just did that. And again, I use little seed beads for the center. Put a lot of glue. Put the seed beads there. And here's my other page with my little bird and its nest. And then I put a little bit of accent, like a little swirly accent with a color that blends in with the background right there, just to give it a little interest. This page, I really like how this page came out. And the reason why I like it is because I didn't spend a lot of time. Actually, the time that it took me to create this page and this page, the next one, was the same time it took me to create this page. Because these are already, you just plop it there, put 2 cards, and you're done. So this one is Adam, and notice that the way that I color his outfit blends into the background. And look at the difference. You get a kind of very different look compared to this one. See how this one's just a little different. It just looks, it feels, and you can even see her shoes. And this one, I didn't even show the shoe. I kind of just brought it down and you don't even see the shoe. So, I really like this. You get 2 of the paper designs. So I took one of the paper design and just cut out the little sign that came with the paper and just put it there with foam adhesive. One other thing, if you're creating these gift albums, always make sure you see how I gave it enough room so she can slip her photos underneath. Do not put glue a lot of times when it overlaps your photo mat, because you don't want her cutting her pictures just to make sure that it will fit underneath there. You don't want that. You want her to be able to put the picture in, or him, whoever you're going to give it. They can put the picture in, and then this is just going to fold over it with no cutting involved. So that's that. And then this, I love, and you know, the other advantage that why I like these photo mats is because I did not have to give her adhesive. Now, we'll give her a little tape runner, so that way she can easily, you know, I like to give that the only thing they need is photo. That's it. I don't want them having to go to the store to get glues or stamps or anything like that. They just need a photo and a pen, so that way they can just easily put adhesive in the back of the photos and put it on here, and they're done. So that's my intention. Now with these photo mats, they don't even need adhesive. Look, they just fit the photo in. I gave her the size that she needs, 4x6, and she's done. So, and plus, she could put 5 photos in here. She only could put 1. Most of the pages have up to 3 photos. I don't have any that is more than 3. However, this page, she can put 6 photos. And this page, she can put 5 photos. And then I created a little area where she can put her invitations, any cards, their vowels, anything like that. I created a little pocket page right there, so she can slip that in here. Plus, I put a little picture here because maybe she want to take a picture of maybe her gifts or whatever. She can put that picture here. It's a standard 4x6 right there. Okay. Then the next page, let me go move this over a little bit. Next page is, I put So Happy. This one I put layers of paper and my photo mats. And then I have another little saying there. I cut out the Cricut Sweetheart cartridge, a silhouette of the groom and bride holding hands. And then I created the dance because when I saw the groom and bride holding hand and looking at each other, I felt like it made me think of Cinderella and the ball, and you know, the prince coming over and grabbing her hand and dancing with her and stuff like that. That's what it reminded me, this die cut. So I thought it was appropriate to put it there and then put the dance. Okay. I also put Always Cherish Us and Cherish Time because I thought that was appropriate. And You Are Enough for Me. You know, a lot of that. And these papers, the Recollection Country, Vintage Country, and the Heartfelt Creation has a lot of nice sayings that makes it really romantic for romantic album, wedding albums and stuff. I really like those sayings. Then the next page, I put a little area here so she can journal her heart's content right here and here. And then again, she has 4 photos in here instead of 5. And another photo here. Okay, and I reproduced the same kind of style with the waves and the layers, same as this one. Okay, so they're kind of the same color scheme. And then the last page, this is my second favorite page, is the last page. Because it has, her theme is country, cowboy. She was thinking about wearing cowboy boots for underneath her dress. He's gonna wear cowboy boots, and I think he's gonna wear those cowboy ties, real nice, and cowboy hats, and it's just gonna be a fun wedding. So that looked to me like them. They really looked like the couple with their cowboy hats and the cowboy boots, and it's just, I love this one. So this is my second one that I like. So I put Life is Better with You, and then this is the final page. It could be whatever she wants to put here. I kind of made it a little generic, but for me, this page represents their life forever, thereafter. So, so that's it. This album is, the nice thing about it is that if she has a CD, she can put that CD there with all the pictures, and there you have it. So I hope I gave you an idea and you like this album. I truly hope that she likes it too. And thank you for watching. Bye now.